Hello and welcome to Your Broken Galaxy. I am Broken, and today the fight is going to be between General Crix Madine of the Rebel Alliance and Galen Erso, the chief designer of the Death Star. Let's get started. Crix finds himself on vacation on the lovely planet Spira. Meanwhile, Galen is on holiday on the beautiful planet of Spira, and they run across each other. Because of the intelligence reports, Madine knows that Erso is the designer of some massive superweapon. Galen, on the other hand, knows that Madine is a rebel. So Galen goes walking up and he's like, "Why, hello, how are you?" And Madine is like, "I'm fine." And then he pulls a blaster out discreetly and aims it at Erso. He says, "General, there's no need for that." And Madine is like, "You're an Imperial officer." And Erso says, "I'm the spy." And Madine says, "That's idiotic. Give me the plans for what you're working on." So Galen says, "Of course. I've been working on creating a space station that has the ability to destroy an entire planet." "What? No," Madine says. "Yes, but I built in a critical and easily exploitable flaw." "I'll kill you," Madine tells him. Ignoring the bit about the flaw, he strikes him with a blaster on the side of his head, and Erso falls to the ground. The stormtroopers who were guarding him all turn to see the commotion and start firing. Madine gets very close to being struck, but he ducks behind a table and then starts firing back, hitting the first of them. "General, you absolute turnip. I am trying to give you the key to destroy the Death Star," Galen shouts. Madine looks at him on the ground and kicks the downed man in the crotch, then turns to fire at the stormtroopers again. "Oh, why?" Erso says through tears. Madine grabs Erso by the throat and says, "Tell me how to destroy the weapon." "Yes, gladly," Erso assures him, as he goes to retrieve a small data device from his pocket to give the general. Unfortunately, Madine thinks that he's reaching for a weapon and shoots him in the shoulder. "Son of a gun, that hurts. Oh, wow, you have no idea," Erso says in pain. Madine turns to re-engage the stormtroopers from cover. More of them start approaching the area. Galen is able to grab the data device and he tosses it to Madine. "That's the plans to the space station," he yells. "I won't fall for your tricks, Erso," Madine says. As the stormtroopers continue to come, Madine has to dodge and duck for cover. He gets separated from Erso. As the stormtroopers get to Erso, they end up standing him up. Madine is by the door. He realizes that he has almost lost his chance. He aims the gun at Erso for one last shot and pulls the trigger, hitting him in his other shoulder. Erso half screams and half cries in agony. Finally, Madine, taking the datapad that Erso had so desperately tried to give it, throws it back at him, hitting him right in the face. Erso's nose breaks and he falls to the ground, weeping in pain. The stormtroopers stand him up, dust him off, and bring him to Krennic. Because he was so horribly injured, no one assumes that he is actually working with the rebels. Vader gives him a commendation, and he's said to be a hero of the Empire. They treat him well, they fix him up, and Galen actually starts to believe the Empire is more concerned with its citizens than the rebels are. He ends up removing the flaw from the Death Star design. 5 years later, after the Rebel Alliance has all been but destroyed, Madine is captured and brought to Erso. Erso commands that Madine is placed in a small craft, immediately in front of the Death Star's super laser. Floating there, alone, in front of a massive viewport, Madine reflects on his weaknesses, his loss, his inability to kill Erso so many years ago. Meanwhile, inside the Death Star, Erso tells the gunnery crew to fire. The Death Star, with all of its might and power, blasts Crix Madine in the most dramatic execution in the history of the galaxy. Well, that is my ridiculous video for today. Galen Erso getting the upper hand on Crix Madine. If you'd like to vote for these, please check out the link to my Patreon in the description below. Anyone who signs up as a paid member of my Patreon can vote. Other than that, I've got a whole bunch of other things on this channel that hopefully will be a good laugh for you, and I'd be grateful if you take a look. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that garbage.